thinking about executives, they're oftentimes asking pretty lofty questions, like the age-old, is my advertising campaign working? Pretty substantial question there. So how do you take the data and truly tell a story with it about the impact of advertising?
Yeah, so the most important part is identifying what is success up front. A lot of times why people do not use data is because that's never defined. So when you start to dig, it seems like an endless hole and you don't know what you're searching for. But if there is a strong measurement strategy and we understand the overall business goal and we understand each channel's objectives, it's very easy to say, is it doing what it's supposed to or not? But without that, that's when it becomes complicated. So my advice is always to spend more time up front talking through the strategy from a media perspective, but also a business perspective, and create a data strategy as a whole before you even get to the part of talking about visualization or talking about what we want to do in terms of analytics. And then it will all come into play and be very easy. The amount of time you spend should be way more upfront than it is actually building out that product.
Yeah, and I think it's also important that you don't just kind of backfit your expectations of the campaign based on what happened, because you always need to go out there and say, I think that this campaign is going to drive people to consider purchasing our brand the next time they're at the store.
Right.
Well, what if you're trying to drive this brick and mortar strategy and your e-commerce strategy is exploding? You don't just say that this, was a perfect e-commerce strategy. You need to break down what about the audience that we were targeting? Did they go in different directions? So you should really be able to, first of all, your client should know what your goal is before, there's a lot of conversations that lead, so everyone should be in the know. And if things pivot, that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But if it is a good thing, you got to explain, this is good, but it's not necessarily what we wanted to do. But this is, why it worked, and also inevitably if it doesn't work, you can say this is what we set out to do, and we missed it by 15%, but this is how we're going to change our next plan. Like, we're going to cut, these tactics or these channels completely from our next plan. So, but if you just kind of figure out your measurement strategy halfway through the campaign, or, after it launched, or you can revise it though. These things are living documents. We do change our plans, but you should go in with a plan to test something, and if it doesn't go to plan, evaluate why, report that back out, and that's going to help you get some insight to your client. You're going to really, hopefully be able to get some really useful insights. What worked, what didn't work. That's what our clients really want to hear. How do we change our 2023 plan based on 2022 results? That's the types of questions our clients expect us to be able to answer.